pretty awesome. Thanks, Chief. I'll put these bad boys on so I can see a little bit. I wrote a speech here, and it's in hopes to help me stay on track and not break down up here in front of everybody. And a lot of friends that are out here right now gave me some sound advice throughout the entire ceremony, telling me to look at me, don't pull up somebody else, drink a lot of water, bend down and get some drinks, all those things. So I'm going to try and get myself through this here and move on with everything else. But good morning again, and welcome to part 2 of the retirement ceremony. Captain Sable, thank you very much for taking the time to come down here and preside over this ceremony today. It was a true honor. I know you have a really busy schedule up there, and I can only imagine it's such a long drive to get down here from Seattle as it is, but in the smack dab in the middle of summer, it's even double. But I appreciate it, and thank you for being here. We have several guests in attendance today who have traveled from quite some distance to be here, and I want to take a moment to recognize their efforts and let them know that it truly means a lot for you to be here. First and foremost, my mom and stepdad, Linda and Steve McDonald, and sister Katie, who surprised me yesterday coming in from Massachusetts. Thank you for your guidance, support, and being such an important part of my life. Steve, you're a huge part of my journey into the Coast Guard, and I can't thank you enough for that. Moving on here. So, Seaman Sean O'Mara back there. Seaman Sean O'Mara, thank you for coming out here from Elizabeth City. It means a lot to me to have you here. I've watched you grow up, and I've watched you now as a young man, and I know your mom and dad are greatly proud of you, and I am too, and it means the world to me for you to be here, buddy. Thanks. Man, this is tough. Tyler, where are you? There you are. We're there. Gotcha. Okay. We also have Lieutenant Commander Rob Craighead, retired, surfman number 292. Rob and his wife Kristen flew all the way out here from Virginia, and I can't thank you enough for being here today, so it means the world to me. Thank you. Matt and Emily Stone came from Kashmir, Washington, and came out here, and thank you so much. I'm grateful for you being here today. And lastly, I want to mention my dad, Terry, and father-in-law, Ron, who unfortunately couldn't make it here today because of a little thing called COVID. They live up in Canada, and there's some pretty strict regulations, and unfortunately they I can't look at you. They weren't able to be here today. But I want to thank them for their endless support throughout my career, and I wouldn't have accomplished any of what I have without their support. So I'm going to do my best to move along here quickly because I know I stand between you and the fantastic food that the galley is putting on, and I know we're approaching the lunchtime, and really that's why a lot of us do come to these things, for the food and things like that. I get it. It's cool, but I'm going to move forward with that. So I stand here today humbled to be surrounded by such great men and women, lifesavers of this organization. Who would have ever thought that a kid from Hamilton, Ontario, city located between Toronto and Buffalo, New York, would have ever enlisted into this Coast Guard service and spent the next 27 and a half years. It's crazy how things work out. If you would have asked my parents, I'm sure they'll tell you that they too are probably pretty surprised that I made a career out of this. You see, after I graduated high school in Canada, after 12th grade, I kind of, like every other high school kid, a lot of kids, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. And so I went back for grade 13. Yep. There was a grade 13 when I went through. In Canada, it was Ontario Academic Credit, where it was kind of like a college courses, university courses. However, I took a different path and took 10th grade gym and a travel and tourism course. But that allowed me to play high school sports another year. And that's, well, I bought some time to figure out what I wanted to do. After that, I was fortunate enough to have my loving mother and stepfather who applied some intrusive leadership into my life, stepped in and gave me some sound parental advice and guidance and encouraged me to join this great organization. Realizing this was an option for me, a kid from Canada, I was excited and eager to do something different. I immediately jumped in, enlisted for 4 years, figuring I'd use that time to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. So Mom, Steve, thank you. I wouldn't have been here and have had such a successful career without you. All right. After graduating boot camp, I was assigned to the Coast Guard Cutter Campbell in New Bedford, Massachusetts, where I spent 2 years striking the rate of bosun mate and honing my skills as a young bosun mate. I received orders and reported to Coast Guard Station Gloucester, and that is where I started my journey as a lifeboatman. As I reflect back on my 27 plus years of service in the career, what I value the most is not the certifications or the advancements and the accolades or the awards or any of those things. It's the relationships, it's the camaraderie, the opportunities to mentor, and the friendships that I've made along the way. Early on, I was fortunate enough to have been mentored by a fantastic officer in charge, Rob Greghead, who's here today. Oh, jeez. Water break, Tyler. Your leadership and positive influence provided me a strong foundation and set me on a path for success. Thank you for everything you did. With my passion for search and rescue and operating motor lifeboats in the harshest environments, the family and I found ourselves headed to the Pacific Northwest, landing in the booming metropolis of Westport, Station Grace Harbor. It was there I honed my skills on the bar, but more importantly, we made some lifelong friendships. And I have a hard time looking over here, so I'm going to keep reading. Matt and Emily Stone. Matt's the only independent DC-2 that I've ever met who was responsible for taking care of 16 government houses single-handedly, while still being required to maintain 47 and 52-foot motor lifeboat crewman currencies and certifications, juggling all that. Matt, thanks for always being there, and thank you for always letting me know. Thank you for always being there, and thank you for always letting me know that you're the DC-2 that took the motor lifeboat Invincible across the Columbia River Bar every chance you get. That I've yet to do that, so I appreciate that. My experience at Grays Harbor solidified my desire to continue my career in the Pacific Northwest and moved into the role as an officer in charge. As luck would have it, I was fortunate enough to get an officer in charge job at Station Depot Bay, where I had the pleasure of working alongside some amazing people, both Senior Chief Scott Slade and Bosun Beth Slade. Both of you who are here today, and it means the world to me. From day one, you both welcomed me into your house and into your family, along with my family, and we've been a tight-knit community and a group ever since. Scott, I appreciate your blunt honesty, your ability to give it to me straight, even when I didn't want to hear it. You're both outstanding COs and OICs, and I'm grateful for our friendship. All right, another quick drink of water here. So here it comes. It was through the Slade's family that we met the O'Maras.
Careful.
The O'Mara family came into our lives, and it's been an adventure since day one. The camaraderie, the family trips, the hard nose, The support, the lifelong memories we've made will be everlasting to me and my family. Thank you for your friendship, and more importantly, for letting us into your inner circle. Yeah. I'm happy to have had the privilege to wear this uniform for the past 27 years and proudly serve this great nation. I'm happier to have met some outstanding people along the way who have impacted my career, made me a better leader, a better husband, a better Coast Guardsman, a better father, and a better friend. I want to thank newly retired Senior Chief Mike Carolla, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, retired Chief Mike Bontempo, retired Chief Tyler Bartell, Senior Chief Shane Abel, Chief Kenny Compton, Chief Tony Kopshiver, and our ancient keeper, Master Chief Chris Hinote. Thank you all, and you guys have all impacted my life in a positive way, and I'm forever grateful for that. All right, almost done here. Pollen count. I heard there was a high pollen count, so this is where I wanted to check, make sure. But my beautiful wife Lee and my sons Ben and Aiden, we made it. Thank you for your never-ending support throughout our career. I know it's not always been easy. Thank you for always being there, listening and understanding and sacrificing your time. I couldn't have accomplished what I've done in this organization without your continued love and support. Words can't describe how proud I am of all of your accomplishments. I'm excited about this new chapter in our lives and look forward to the adventures that lie ahead and my never-ending honey-do list. All right, I made it through that pretty good. Well, that's it. 27 years in a nutshell. Like I said, it's been an honor to serve within this great organization. I'm proud to have known each and every one of you, and you've all impacted me in such a positive way. Thank you. Be safe and take care of each other.
You're all standing up. Whoop, whoop.